Hello everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove. Thanks for joining me today. Today's just a fun, messy day with some paints, some jelly plates, and a couple of brayers here. I picked some leaves from the garden and thought it's high time that I got some printing done. I haven't done this in so long, and I do love the effects of it. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm very much a beginner, and you'll see this as the video goes through. I'm not really knowing what I'm doing, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So sometimes I roll the paint out on the plate. Sometimes I will cover the leaf. Here I discovered that the leaf does not cover well with the brayer, so I grab a big paintbrush and decide to try and paint the leaves. I'm trying to always grab as much detail off these prints as possible, but my favorite thing is really creating depth to the paint and to the overall image. And this, I think, just comes with a little bit of practice. It's learning what to apply first, what colors you like, the details in the leaves. Some leaves print much better than others. I find the fern a little bit difficult to work with. I probably should have left that one till I'd warmed up a little bit. But I do love ferns, and I love the prints that they create. They have such pretty delicate little details that I love to capture. This is just a bunch of paper I got from the thrift shop. I think it's got a linen weave to it. It's got some sort of natural fiber in there. It's a really nice paper, and I got it really cheap. So I'm excited to use this because I think it will be quite absorbent. So there's the first one, which, it's kind of boring. It's just blue, but we're just warming up. You'll see I get awfully messy as time goes by. Not the kind of person who keeps their fingers clean. I really like to get my hands dirty with these. This probably ended up being my favorite plant to print, which is a raspberry leaf or a cluster. And I really enjoyed this one, though it kept pricking my fingers. But the details of the underside of the leaves were so pretty. And I play with this one quite a bit, as you'll see. So I'm just using acrylics here. I am using good quality acrylic. The Goldens are really high pigments, and I would recommend using good quality acrylic paint for this. I wouldn't use the cheapy dollar store stuff just because when you're achieving the depth on the paper of layers of color, good quality paint really, really shines through. So I'll probably throw on a little bit of music at some point because honestly, there is just only so much you can talk about, and maybe grab your tools and give it a try yourself. It is so much fun. And then I will release another video on how I use these mono prints. I don't know, they called mono prints? No, they're not mono prints. They are jelly prints. I think mono print is when you're using sun exposure. So hopefully you enjoy this, and it gives you some inspiration to get your hands really dirty. It's always fun to get your hands dirty. So here I wait for the background to dry and then throw another coat of paint and try and lift the whole thing that's left over. It's a really fun effect to try. Sometimes I find it successful and other times not so much. It really just depends on how dry the paint is, how much layering of paint you have added. This leaf here that I'm about to use is another favorite of mine. This is the smoke bush. I don't know its Latin name, but you can get it in purple and green. And it's a really beautiful, round, soft leaf, but the underside has very strong and deep type veining that really shows up beautifully if you manage to put the right amount of paint on. So here I experiment quite a bit by how much paint to use, because if you add too much paint, it loses the detail and you just get kind of a messy print. But if you add the right amount of paint, you get a really beautiful effect. So it's really nice to experiment with several different plants, and you'll find what your favorite is. Here, this paper ends up being one of my favorites. I think it's got a really cool effect in the end and really trying to achieve that depth of color, which is why I get messy. I don't like to add a specific color one at a time. You'll see here, I just mix everything together and see what happens. And I really do love doing that. So here I am back to the raspberry bush, which happens to be, again, one of my favorites. And then I'm just throwing some color down. Not quite sure what I'm doing here. I'm just throwing on a color and just trying different things. I'm not overly concerned about the end result, simply because I will be reusing these one way or another, whether the print is successful or not, which takes away a lot of pressure when you're trying to experiment with new things. So this time I decided, let's put a coat of paint on the jelly plate to begin with. And you'll notice I don't really clean my jelly plate. I just find the more layers, the more residue left behind, the more interesting the print. So some of you might find this a little bit difficult if you're a bit of a perfectionist, or you like things very neat and tidy. Not that your results won't be good, they'll just be different. So it's kind of nice to work the way you're comfortable working, but also really get your hands dirty and see where it takes you. So here I threw down that raspberry bush on top of the white paint, and I really actually love how this ended up. It's probably one of my favorite prints so far. And then I also reprint the print, so it's really fun. I mean, the possibilities, right? So one of the things I noticed at some point is I really didn't bring out a lot of colors. So in a little bit, I bring out some greens and some yellows just to have fun with those as well. Here I decided to add some individual leaves. I really like the impression of these leaves, and I thought let's take it in a different direction and fill in this paper with individual leaves in my finger. I was going to do another print, but I decided to give this a try instead. I just suddenly thought, well, let's just print this and see what happens. And I really liked it. Again, just getting your fingers dirty, pressing down the details, and just filling in the full paper with little leaves here. These ones are also part of the smoke bush. They're just a smaller one. Here I decided to add some green and yellow paint and switch up the colors a little bit. Just having fun with color. Of course, you can use any colors you like to accommodate the journal you're working in, or if you're making wrapping paper or whatever it is you're using this for, just like me today and fully experimenting. I really like some of the print results of these colors as well. And as you can see, I didn't clean a thing. I just continued adding more colors. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope your fingers got as dirty as mine did. And I hope this video inspired you just to have fun with materials you might have around this season. Stay tuned for part 2, and we will put these papers to use. See what we can make with them. Thanks again for joining me today. Take care, everyone. Bye.